So let me share. Okay, so this is just a few, a few resources. Actually, this very first slide is useful for everyone because it's just a reminder where to find everything on the website. Sometimes it can be a little, you know, overwhelming with the number of emails that we receive, or like the number of posts on Facebook, or, you know, whatever source of information that you use to get the news from the school. So the first point is the summer is about the summer recommendations. In case you don't remember where to find those, all you have to do, and each time I'm doing the steps with you just to show you, you would go to the LFNO, www.lfno.org, so the school's website basically. I'm going to click on it. So each time it takes a little bit for the image to pull up. And then you would go to Student Life right here. So on top you have all the tabs, and you go to Student Life. And then you go to the first tab, which is Uniform, Supplies, and Summer Assignments. So then you would click on this link right here. And then here you have all of the assignments based on, you know, what grade you're interested in. So since I have some, you know, rising first graders, I would click on the second link right here. For new parents, you can click on the rising kindergartners link. You can, for your students that is entering pre-K4, you can also use the same resources that are presented here. They also work great for pre-K4. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second link, and I'm going back to the PowerPoint. So the second link is, it's a reminder of a document that presents a lot of French resources. I've been updating it. Actually, I need to update it a little bit more because for today's Q&A, I kind of like did some research on some of the websites, so I need to add that information there. So for some general academic resources, and this is not just for French, you would also go back to the lfno.org website right here. And then you need to click on the COVID-19 page, Updates and Resources. So usually it's the first one that pop up. So click on it. And then you will have to scroll down a little bit. So I'm scrolling down until I get to this gray box. And on this gray box, I guess right now we are interested in academic resources. So I'm going to go to the Academic Resources tab right here. And here you have several resources. So you have to scroll down a little bit at the bottom to find all of the resources. So you have multidisciplinary resources here, STEM, math and science resources, ELA resources. So all of these resources are actually in English. Then I would click on French resources right here if I'm interested in the French resources. And so you have some of the one, actually I'm going to cover some of those today. But the document I wanted to remind you that exists, it's this one. So that the first one that's right here, it's a link to a Google Doc. So I'm just going to click on it. And here you have, it's basically a very long table. Oops, let me scroll down a little bit just to show you in case you, and you might be already familiar with it. It's just, you know, a reminder on how to find it and that it exists. So you want to find additional resources. So, oops, trying to scroll down. Okay, I'm just going to show you, remind you a little bit how this is organized. For each website, you kind of have the level, the grade level that it's recommended for. So pre-K5 means that it is recommended for students that are in pre-K up to 5th grade. It's all subjects. So this is the name of the website. Then you have a short description of what it is, and you have the link. Then it tells you if you need a login or not. A lot of websites actually do not require login. If it's free or not. Most websites also here are free. And then you have a comment that, you know, like for example, this first one is actually not a website that I really recommend because it's very challenging to navigate. So, you know, and then you would continue scrolling down, and you have several pages of like resources, you know. The bulk of the resources is really for, I want to say, elementary and middle school students. Unfortunately, we don't have as many resources for, you know, pre-K and K. And then for high school, it's also a little bit less. Okay, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Oops, sorry. That's it. Do you have any questions at this point about those two steps? No? Oh, yes, Mariwanda.
And I just wanted to say thank you so much for all these resources. It's so much work to put all that together, and that we have been using it. And I wanted to let you know that actually Sam Peter's been on Senedd, and he's been doing it religiously, and he's continuing to do it because school is still ongoing, right, in France. And so he's just been doing it every day. And it was a little challenging at the beginning, but once he figured out how the system works, it's been wonderful. And it's, you know, everything is served up in a depth that is workable each day. And he likes the variety of it. And it's guided, you know, it's guided by Senedd. And he loves it. I can't say enough about it. And it's kept him completely engaged every single day. Even on the weekends, he's doing it.
That's awesome. This is great. I mean, for all of the parents on here, the CNED is the official, it's the official partner with the French Ministry of Education that provide online courses. It's basically for, usually under normal circumstances, it's for students that are homeschooled. So it's following the curriculum. And then for the, I mean, right now, it has provided like lesson plans, I mean, like plans of lessons really for all grade levels. So if you are able to navigate it, it's really helpful. It is organized per grade level. So, you know, if you have a rising second grader, for example, I would still stick with, you know, the current grade. So for example, first grade, if you have a rising fourth grader, I would still stick with third grade. So, but yeah, it is a really, really well-made website. So actually, I'm going to click on the next one. So actually, Lumina here is a great resources for lots of subjects and many grade levels. I believe actually some of the Lumina videos are actually linked on the CNED website. So I'm just going to show you a little bit which is, I feel, is the challenging part, maybe if you are not a French speaker, on how to navigate those sites. So when I have a website that I recommend, I'm just showing you a little bit how you can navigate it. So I'm going to click on it and just show you how it works. So for Lumina, you don't need to have a login. You don't need anything specifically. The first thing that's important for you is to look up on the top left. So we have primaire. Primaire is going to be for our kindergartners and middle school, and elementary school students. And then collège is for the middle school and 9th grade students. So as you see, when I click on it, I have like several grade levels that appears. So maternelle is going to be for our pre-K4 and kindergarten students. So if you have a pre-K4 or kindergarten students, you want to go explore what's in the maternelle, and I'm going to do it in a second. Then CP is first grade. CE1 is second grade, CE2 is third grade, CM1 is fourth grade, CM2 is fifth grade. Okay, you don't have to remember all of the names, it's acronyms, but just remember that CP is first, and then you just in all of the websites usually you just have to like either go down or go right and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm just going to click on maternelle because I know we have a parent that's interested in maternelle. And when I click on maternelle, which is it's going to be a little bit different than the other grade levels. On the top left here, I'm sorry, on the left side, you have the different domain or different areas of learning. So in maternelle, for example, you have langage. So you can either pick your domain, or if you don't feel like you don't have a domain specifically you want to explore, you can just look at the videos that they are presenting. So, well, here we are not interested in this one because it says apprendre l'anglais avec Kiwi. I guess we don't need to learn English necessarily. You know, then you have here, you have art videos. So as I am navigating a French website, I want to show you a useful tool like that you can use. If you're not a French speaker, if you have no idea, if you have no background in French, it is sometimes useful to use Google Chrome. To use Google Chrome on a website because it's going to provide a literal translation that can be helpful. So I'm just going to show you for this website, and then you can use that for all of the other websites that we are going to explore. So yes, I think you're seeing on my screen right now. So, oops. Let me move this. I have the, I'm also double checking that I don't, okay, yes, I had somebody in the waiting room. There you go. So if you are, can you see the top of my tab? Yeah? No? So, I guess I'm gonna show you how.
I can see your tabs.
Okay, thank you. So on the top right here, you can see I have, this is actually the application for Google Translate. So if I click on it, and I'm just
maybe I can't see that.
You can't see that?
You know, let's see. Maybe it's hidden by.
I'm gonna share my. I'm gonna change my.
No, it's fine. It's just a matter of my things being in front of it. So it might be that.
Oh.
For instance, my Zoom, the pictures of everyone in the meet was covering up where your cursor was.
Okay. So on the way, so I have the extension. It's a Google Chrome extension that you can add, and that I strongly recommend adding it because it's very useful. And I'm going to show you how to install it. But here it's on the top right. For me, since I already have it installed, I'm just going to click on it. And I'm going to click on here. It says translate this page. So if I click on it, it takes a few seconds. And it's going to translate all of the, you see, it translated all of the videos, the little videos titles. It translated the different theme. So at least it gives you an idea of what each rubric is about. Same thing here, you know, on the top left, it translated the activities. So now, you know, if you don't know in French what it is, or sometimes you can figure it out. But, you know, if you have no idea, here you have the different things in English. Okay, and then to go back to the maternelle thing, you know, you would just pick a video. Sometimes, unfortunately, not all of the links work because of the area in the world we are. Sometimes you have to be in France to be able to watch those videos. So unfortunately, if you pick a video and it's not working, well, you just have to try another one. So let me go back. And then after that, I will, before I talk about the different website, I'll show you how to install the Chrome application. So I just want to show you I was in maternelle here. So I click on primaire and then I selected maternelle. Since I have I have two raising fourth graders, I'm going to show you CE2 because CE2 is third grade. So if I click on third grade right here, on CE2. It's going to be the same thing. So if I scroll down, I can just look at like what basically they featuring for this week. You know, all of those resources are great. What's called les fondamentaux here, usually it's like a mini lesson on the topic. And then as you scroll down, you're going to have videos here about history, geography. You know, if you're interested in a specific topic, same thing, you would go on the left right here and you can pick your topic. So let's say I want to do some French, which is, I'm going to click on Français, French. And here you're also going to have subdomains. So you're going to have langage oral, which is oral language. Lecture et compréhension, so reading and comprehension. Écriture, writing. And then this is going to be all of our grammar, spelling, and vocabulary activities right here. Okay, then you have to click, because see here it says 41 contenus. That means there are 41 items in here. So a lot of those folders have a lot of content. This is a very, just like Senedd, this is a very, very high quality website. It's, you know, it's sponsored by the French Ministry of Education. The videos are really great. I just can't remember on top of my head right now if the French subtitles are available. I think in most of them they are. I don't want to click on a video because then sometimes they don't work. So then, you know, we kind of lose a little bit of time. So before, so this is, to go back to my PowerPoint, this is the Lumina website. This is really great. As you can see, it works for really like all of the grade levels. So you will find a lot of resources on there, and they are like really high quality. So just quickly, yes, Mariwanda, I saw you raising your hand.
Yes, I'm on it actually on my other computer. Yes. And it just to describe it, it kind of looks a bit like YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. In that you pull up, they have courses, right? And you go in, and each one is only like 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes long. So they're nice small pieces for the children. And then on the right-hand side, just like in YouTube, you see all of the succeeding, right, you know, chapters. So it looks like it's really nicely organized, and it's beautiful quality.
It's very good quality. Yeah. Some of it are going to be lessons. It's also a variety. Some of them are going to be lessons, but some of them are going to be more like about a theme, like, you know, the pirates, or, you know, like about some historical characters. And it's always grade level, you know, appropriate.
And they have news broadcasted by children.
It's very,
which is nice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
So just to show you quickly, I'm just gonna show you quickly how to install the Google Chrome extension. I'm not gonna take too long. So to install the Google Chrome extension, you need to be using Google Chrome as your search engine. I'm not sure how you call it, but basically, but you need to use Google Chrome. And then you can, in your search, you can just put like Google Translate, oops, sorry. Google Translate extension. For Chrome, sorry, I forgot. Chrome. Okay, and then usually it's the first link that pops up. So I'm gonna click on it. Okay, so for me, it's already installed. So here the only option that I have, it tells me remove from Chrome. This is not, if you don't have the extension installed on your computer, it's not going to tell you that. It's going to say install Chrome. Okay, so you would click on that, and as soon as you click on it, this little symbol of it is going to appear on the top right of your tab right here. And then you can just start using it. It's a very useful tool. That's why I think it's great to have it on your computer. I don't use tablets that much, so I'm not sure if it works on tablets or not. Okay, so I'm going back to the PowerPoint, and I'm keeping track of time. It's already 4:30, so I'm just gonna go quickly through some of those resources. The PowerPoint, this PowerPoint presentation that has all of the links in it is available. I can't remember where Elaine posted it. So I will double check that information and let you know. So this one here is great. It's called La Bibliothèque des Amériques. It is a Canadian, a Canadian library. And it's great because it gives you the option to rent for free a lot of digitalized book. So they are all in French. You do need to create a login. But then you're gonna be able to. I forgot the numbers. It's just like a regular library, except it's digital. You also have videos. It's all in French. Like if you're looking, I know Marie-Wanda, you look interested in some maybe classics also. So like if you're looking for a classic in French, this is you're very likely to find it on this website. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the next one. Okay, so this one is also a very, very great website. It's called EducArté. So Arte is like, it's a national channel that's supported by the French government. So here I just indicated that this is recommended for 1st through 9th grade. Of course, if you have a 10th grader, that works too. It is a really also very high quality videos that are available. I can't remember. I do think you might need to create a login to access all of it. What's very interesting with this website is that all videos have the French subtitles available. So, if you have like an elementary student that can read, or especially if you have a middle schooler, and sometimes it's a little hard to understand, you can turn on the subtitles in French, and you can read at the same time in French. They also have the option actually to download all the subtitles in a PDF format, which is great. The other advantage, if you want to watch a video with your kids, some of the videos have the subtitles in English. So that's great because you could be watching, like a very high level, maybe video in French, or at least, for some of you, it might be a challenging level to understand, but you can keep up with understanding what they're saying because you can have the option in the English subtitles. I think the English subtitles are available for about 30% of the video. So it's not most of the video, but it's available for some. So same thing, I'm just gonna click on it quickly. It's organized per level. So actually it's organized per cycles, I think. So I'm just gonna show you quickly. So I already have my, so you would have to create an account. So me, I'm already connected, so it already knows my identifiers. If you're not registered here, you would go here on créer un compte and create an account. It's here. So same thing. If you don't know you don't understand what you're supposed to go, use Google Translate, and it will translate this page, and you can find where it says create an account. So I'm just going to connect. Oh no, it has expired. It has expired on on July 5th. So I can't show you, unfortunately. I have to renew my. Let me see if I can still show you some of the. I can still show you a little bit how it works. So, oops. back here. Okay, so it's on the top here, you're gonna have matière. Matière is subjects. And here you're gonna have niveau scolaire. So niveau scolaire is a grade level. So I'm gonna show you on here. So I'm gonna click on the little arrow. Hopefully it's gonna let me go. No, it doesn't, unfortunately. So just know that it's here. If you click on niveau scolaire, and then I know from using the website, and it's organized per cycle. So here we have students that are in cycle 2. Cycle 2 is for first grade, second grade, and third grade. So cycle 2, first, second, and third. Then you have cycle 3, third, fourth, and fifth. Fourth, fifth, and sixth. I'm sorry. And then you're going to have cycle 4, which is 7 and up. So then you would pick, and then you can also pick, matière is going to be for the subject. So you can really refine your search if you're interested in something, very specific topics. Okay, so coming back to the PowerPoint, 437. Okay. Okay, so this website here is great if you are been using the summer resources provided by the French teachers. A lot of the French teachers love this website. It's called Logiciel Éducatif. It's very, you have a lot of activities. It's more, it's not as, everything is not as high quality as the other websites I presented. However, a lot of the activities, it's a lot of games, so it can be very engaging, and it seems like a lot of games. Quickly, just to show you how it's organized, we have the same organization. So on the top left, we have maternelle. So if you remember, maternelle is for pre-K4 and kindergarten. And then, you go right, so CP is first grade, CE1 is second grade, CE2 is third, CM1 is fourth, CM2 is fifth, and then collège, which is middle school. It's this one right here. It's not really for middle school. It's not really organized per level. And then on the left, on the left part of the screen, you will have the different subjects. So if you want to do some math activities, it would be here. And then French. And then you do have other types of activities. Sometimes I feel like the kids usually figure it out better, even than me. It's a lot of games, so sometimes, it can be a little, you're not sure what you're supposed to do, but it is a good website in general to use because you have so many activities presented here. I'm coming back and I'm going to present, I think those were like the main resources I wanted to present. Just quickly, if you're interested, and it's also a reminder, there are a lot of audio of podcasts of stories available in French. All of the links that are here are like also in the documents that I introduced and presented at first. Oh, I forgot to check if I had anyone. Yes, I had Heather in the waiting room. Oops. So those podcasts are great. I think it's really good to listen to podcasts in French because it helps work the oral comprehension. I know we do have the videos a lot of time. The videos are great because you also have the visual support and you kind of helps understand. But I think it's also good to just focus on what you can hear without any support, on any visual support. So it is more difficult. It's much more difficult, but if you have the opportunities, all of those are like really, really great podcasts. And typically it's short stories. It's not really news. I have another slide about the news. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about Print Pop. Okay, so briefly, because I think this can interest some of you since I have some middle school parents and I also have some elementary students. A great way to keep up with your French right now is to read or to listen to the news in French. So here it's mostly newspaper or magazines that are specifically for either elementary school students, elementary age students, or middle schoolers. Arte Junior Le Mag is a really great resources. Un jour, une actu, that means one day, one news. So as you know, the title explain it, it's basically each day is just like it's an article about one type of news. Le Petit Libé is also interesting. I just want to talk briefly about those two one right here. Le Petit Quotidien, which I put 3 to 5 because it's I think it's better for 3rd grade to 5th grade students. Le Petit Quotidien and Mon Quotidien. Mon Quotidien is the same thing, but it's for a little bit older students. Those two websites are great. Unfortunately, the free content is limited. But if you just want to read one article per day, it's kind of good because usually you have enough, or just even if it's just 1 week, because then they renew the content. So what's great about those two websites is usually they have the article, they have some words, the important words are highlighted and are explained. So and explain on the a grade level appropriate, and then at the end you have one comprehension question. It's not very difficult, but it's kind of like you can read the article, have some of the words explained, and then you have the little comprehension question. Okay, so I'm going to continue because I just want, since I have some 1st graders, I want to share, and it can actually work for some of the, if like the rising 4th graders need a little practice on some phonics, those websites can work too, actually. So these resources are for early literacy in French. So if you are the parent of a rising 1st graders, all of those resources are great. So basically, here I have detailed some of the one I really liked. But if you click on the first link here, you're gonna have access to all of the resources. So obviously, and that works for the pre-K4 and the kindergarten students. One of the first things to start with is to work on your French alphabet and the sound and the names of the letters in French. So I would definitely do some letter activities. Other activities right here are great because it's something that's really hard to help your child with when you are not a French speaker. It's working on phonemes and segmenting words and working on syllables. So all of these websites here are great because there is audio. So each time you can listen to the word. Most of the one, I think all of the one that I've linked here actually have an image. So, if I say a word in French, like I'm going to say, what could I say? Tournevis. I don't know. I don't think many people are going to know what tournevis is, but this is actually, I'm thinking because I have one next to me. Okay. But on the website, they're going to have the image of the tournevis. So of course, it's much better. This one, like MICETF, which is actually an acronym, are gonna have tons of activities about sounds, counting syllables, finding where's the syllable, which syllable has which sound, which is great. Click My Class here is also great about French websites. I just recovered, I'm so excited about Abracadabra. So I'm just going to click on it because actually I didn't know about this website and I found out about it as I was doing some research for today. It's very, so a lot of the great resources actually come from Canada. So,
fais ton choix d'activité et de livres.
Okay, so on this website, so it's all in French. They have a slight Canadian accent, which is good too, because, it's good to be exposed to very different French accents. You're going to have like all kind of activities, you can play with letters. So same thing, if you don't understand, just, use your Google Translate and then you can understand the different thing. And then here, it's a little tricky.
Je m'entraîne à lire.
you have different things. So what's great here, you also, it starts
Je
from,
joue avec les sons
sorry.
et les lettres.
It starts from very basic with letters, syllables, you know, all kind of games with syllables. So each time you click on one, it's going to be an activity. And then
Je m'entraîne à lire.
it becomes a little bit harder. So lecture assistée, usually all of these websites, you can see lecture colorée, they have like support for readers that are just beginners. So it's very useful. This website especially has a lot of, each time you have a little microphone and you can click on it and you can listen to how it's read. So it is really great. And then I'm not gonna do this because it's 46 minutes and I want to make sure I kind of like address everything. For Lalilo, I forgot to put the link here, but this is a website that the students have been using in school. So if you have a rising second grader, oh, I don't think I have any rising yes, I do have a rising third grader. Your kid might be familiar with this website. It's a really, really good one to work on phonics too. So I strongly recommend using it. If you have issues with it, please send me an email and I can do like a quick tutorial, you know, like one-on-one with the parents. Sometimes it's just much quicker than just exchanging 10 emails. Quickly, because I know I had a pre-K a parent that's have a new students next year. So if you are starting French next year, what can you do? So I saw in the chat box that you have already been singing some songs, which is great. You know, that's something I would continue doing. On here, I have included some websites, which actually everybody can work on it. You don't have to be new to French to work on it, but they are really great for vocabulary. They are very interactive. They don't necessarily have games. Actually, Vocapic, it's not a game, but each time it's a multiple choice option. And you have the image of what it is. And then you have 3 different words, but you can click on the little microphone. So you don't need to be able to read to use it. And you have to, you know, to click basically on the right word. Of course, you're not going to get it right at the first time because you don't know the word yet. But if you practice, you can really, it works great. Yes, Marie-Wanda.
Is Vocapic, is it appropriate for older kids or is it only for smaller children?
No, I mean, I can click on it and just show you quickly. So you would, here it says for 3rd to 5th, but you're gonna see it's very, so you have all of the theme. Mm-hmm. It's all like common themes. So if I click on the la maison, the house, then you have an image, but you know, this one, so obviously it looks like it's the ceiling. So then I would click on the sound.
Un seau, un timbre, un réservoir de fioul, un plafond.
Okay, so if, let's say I think it's un seau, I'm going to click, I click on it and then I click on it here. Well, that wasn't the right one. So it's un plafond. So then
un plafond.
You can just listen to it again. You know, it's basic, but it's got lots of themes. And I really love the website that gives you the option to like click on it again until you, you know, you have it right. I strongly recommend when you have, if you have your kids working on one of those websites, or even if you're doing it with them, encourage them to repeat out loud. This is something very important. You know, of course, it's great that they listen, but you know, just repeating the word is great. Classe d'accueil, okay. Then I think, so all of those are websites actually that are designed for new to French students. So I strongly recommend them. And I know we want to talk about middle school. So I'm not gonna have time to talk about those, but, oops, sorry. So on these slides, it's also, I think those are like my favorite, some of my favorite websites for elementary age students. Il était une histoire, so I put 3 stars because it's a really, most of those, sorry, I should have said, it's interactive reading. So usually you pick a book, you have different levels of reading. The students can either read the book on its own, you know, if it's independent enough. You can just listen to the book and follow the text at the same time. And then usually they have comprehension questions for all of those. So those are like really, really good book. Yesterday I discovered this one is called Grimoire. For Grimoire, it's a little bit more advanced because there is no option of like listening to the book read to you. However, the comprehension questions are pretty advanced. So I think for like, you know, upper elementary students or middle school students, it can be great. They have all kinds of topics. They have documentaries. They have like fictions. Yes, those are great. And then same thing for Edu Charlevoix. You have a lot of options for digital books. And they organize per level. And then the last thing for the pre-K and K, there are a lot of apps that can be used, but like for vocabulary, the one I recommend, and it's for actually, there are 3 options really for this app. I have it on my phone actually, because my son is in rising kindergarten, so I think sometimes he does this one. So it's called 1000 mots GS. GS stands for Grande Section, which is kindergarten in French. So it's 1000 words for kindergarten. It's a very, it's usually organized per the dominant phonics that you can hear. So you have the words that have the sound A, and then the words that have the sound E. And it's really great. So it's not free. You do have a free limited version, but then it's $2.99 for the full version. You have, I think I included the link. So it works on different, you know, on different support. You also have the same app for CP and CE1, so first and second grade. And then you have a FLE one. FLE is French as a foreign language. It's got more complex words for the FLE one, you know, and it's a slightly more expensive. CP CE1 is $3.99, and I think the FLE one is $4.99 or $5.99, I can't remember. But this is a really, really good app. Also with the option of each time listening, clicking and listening on the word. I think that's all I had. So I think maybe we have about 6 minutes left, but can I address any questions at this point? I think Marie-Wanda, you probably have a question for middle school, since I didn't have time to respond to your email. We can, if you want, we can talk. We can stay together to talk about it if you want. Okay, yeah. But maybe other parents have questions at this point.
I do.
Cheyenne, you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know who do I need to contact to get on my son's reading, my son's email list, because I've never gotten an email from a teacher or anything. And it's hard for me I keep trying to track people down through the group and submit my email, but I'm still not I haven't received anything from a teacher or nothing.
Do you remember which homeroom it was in?
Your homeroom. Mr. Odell?
Monsieur Abdel, okay.
Abdel.
Okay, I will reach out to him, and then to the middle school director. It will have this information.
Thank you.
I was just going to add that I think at this point, the teachers, Cheyenne, I was just going to say, I don't think the teachers from last year will reach out again. So even if he has your information, I mean, I think if you have specific questions about last year, he might get back to you, but the teachers from last year are not reaching out to us at this point. Like they're gone for the summer. Is that right, Sophie?
Yes, that's right. For middle school, it's a little even more complicated because it's so many teachers. But you know, want to make sure that because he started before, you know, we left school, so it's I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't get anything. So.
Okay.
Hello, Sophie.
Yes.
I'm in a doctor's appointment, so I actually typed my question in the chat box, but so if I leave, I'm just waiting. My question was, if your child took French 1 in 6th grade, is that Carnegie, does it show up as an actual Carnegie unit recognized by the state of Louisiana? In other words, can that child take their transcript and that's recognized by another school?
In which grade? In 6th grade.
In 6th, my son took French 1 and half credit for Spanish 1. This is Heather Knight, by the way.
Oh, wait. Heather, I don't have the answer to this question. I would have to I have to reach out to Laura and to Hannah. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know. I don't have the answer at this point.
Sure. I think other parents will end up, it's good to know because it's going to come up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. So it's almost time. We have 2 minutes, and then I'll stay with Marie-Wanda. Unless Marie-Wanda, you have questions that you want to share with everyone?
I don't have any more general questions. Well, Cheyenne, your child is middle school too, right? So I had one question just generally on vocab, if there were any sites for older children. You mentioned Mille mots, and has the FLE section, which might be a little more advanced, but something like that would be of interest. And then my other question, that's a general question, is also with regard to a French summer reading list.
Yes.
So, and you know, the equivalent of what the, you know, what was given by the English teachers to do work over the summer to read books, annotate them in English, etc. I'm wondering if we'll be seeing the same thing in French, where they're required to read 1 or 2 books, annotate them, and just, you know, do the same in French.
So, okay, so first part of your questions about vocabulary for, you know, I guess middle school students, the website that's great is called Profleu. This is
Spell, please. Spell, please.
Yeah, I put it in the chat box. It's P-R-O, it's P-R-O-F-L-E. It's a very, so it's a great website, but it's super dense. So then the way it's organized per topics. So if you want to work on like clothes, or, you know, they have on all topics, if you want to work on like professions, the website, it is a website for French as a second language. It is not a French immersion website. So it is really going to be organized, you know, per different themes that you usually would study if you were studying French as a second language. There is the way the website is organized. On the left part of it, you can also choose if you have I think adolescents, which is teenagers. So you can select teenagers, and then you're gonna have the resources organized, you know, per topics, but more specifically for teenagers.
Okay.
And then they also have that for children. So it's just usually this is more resource that teachers use, but you know, it's also it can be a really good resource for parents. I think especially for our middle school students, they're already like very they're proficient in French, so they can navigate those websites much more easily than other students. For the reading list, so I can't answer exactly about the assignment. However, what I can show you is that we already have the reading lists available on the website. So let me.
Was that emailed? Did I miss that?
I don't know. I know it was, I don't know if Heather is still there, but this was discussed during one of the academic committee meeting. And then based on the feedback from the board members that were present, all those lists were posted on the website. So hold on, I shared, oh, I lost the screen that I was sharing. A little bit lost right now. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, come back and share again. So I'm just gonna share my, okay, here. Nope, it's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, hold on. And then because this is going to be the reading list for all students, so that I can show that to everyone.
And this is on the website in that location that you showed us earlier?
I think it's in another location.
Oh, okay.
So hold on. Why cannot I tab? Okay, I'm going to do new tab. Okay, oh, here it is. So let me go back to the lycée website here. Is it under academics, academic resources? I'll go slower. If this is the right path, I will. Resources. I don't. So I'm gonna have to look for. I don't remember. I don't see where they are organized. It should be under academic resources, unless I'm not seeing it right. Oh, nope. No. So I apologize about that. I will. I know they are posted on the website. I just need to find out where. So
okay.
I will clarify where you can find the recording of the previous meeting. However, I kind of presented similar similar resources. I went a little bit slower. So, you know, if you miss something, you can always find it there. And then I will find out where I have the reading lists for French, which is, you know, based on the recommendation from the French Ministry of Education.
That would be wonderful. And then another general question that I had is with regard to interactions with other lycées, you know, around the world. Obviously, we won't be traveling for a while, right? But I'm wondering if that's something that's a priority, particularly now that, you know, we're likely to be doing a lot on a virtual basis. It actually, you know, would probably fit very well into the curriculum. So I'm just wondering if the administration is looking into partnering or doing any kind of collaborative work, particularly with schools in France.
So right now, you know, we have a partnership with the Lycée Français de New York. So Lycée Français of New York, which is attended by more native French speakers than, you know, our school.
What have we done? What has been the concrete result of that? I know they have visited us.
They visited, so
right.
You know,
but
like,
in terms of the academics and being integrated into you know, academic life, how has that been done so far?
I know they've had some projects, but like Yann Collin is really in charge of all this part.
Okay.
For starting in 10th grade next year, we have there is a specific program actually meant to connect students that attend French accredited schools over the world. So that's
Oh,
the thing. It's like it's only you can only access the platform starting in 10th grade. It's second, which is a French high school. So that's going to be available for high school. And I guess, you know, teachers teachers have had like more like personal initiative. This is actually, you know, part of their contract with Codophil is to have an action to promote the francophonie, the French-speaking word. And a lot of them have had like organized pen pals with school in France. It is a little bit more at the, it's been more at the elementary level, not quite at the high school, sorry, middle school. So, but that's definitely something we want to, you know, we want to look into because, you know,